Hello everyone, this is Sophia Rai, Faculty of Sociology, Salesian College, Sonada. I hope everyone is keeping safe and sound. As we know, this learning is the ongoing process, and I would like to give my sincere thanks to Radio Salesian for making our learning process more interesting. So let us not simply waste our time, but let us all put a little bit of effort to utilize this time, to use this time in the productive way. Today I'll be talking about women's movement in India for the students of DSc 2 Sociology of India second semester. There are two parts in this lesson. First part talks about the historical background of position of women in Indian society, and the second part talks about the different phases of women's movement in India. And in this session, I'll be talking and I'll be covering the first part, that is the historical background of women in Indian society. So whenever we talk about the women's movement, this is not the isolated term, nor this is the new issue. Women have been fighting for their political, economic and social rights for centuries now globally. They are fighting against the patriarchal domination. They are fighting against the subjugation. They are fighting for various kind of rights like equal wages. They are fighting for the issues like female infanticide. And not only that, they are fighting against these domestic violence, they are fighting against this rape, molestation and many other factors. In the same manner, women's movement in India also aimed at defining, establishing and defending their political, economic and social rights. And the beginning of women's movement in India can be traced first from the social reform movement which took place in 19th century. The ideological and the social content of women's movement changed from time to time, which we will be discussing it later. And when we talk about the women's movement in India, we can always divide women's movement into three phases. The first phase, that is from 1850 to 1915, social reform movement of 19th century. Second phase, that is from 1915 to 1947, freedom struggle movement of 20th century. And the last phase, that is phase 3, women's movement in India after independence, that is after 1947. So before starting with the phases of women's movement in India, we need to have some idea about the position of women in Indian society in various time periods. And society has been patriarchal for most part of the recorded history. And even in our society, we follow the principles of patriarchy. For example, suppose if I want to go out for a vacation with my friends, and if I tell my mother that I want to go for a vacation with my friends, then obviously she will be telling that no, you need to ask your father. Unless and until I get a note from my father, then obviously I won't be able to go out. Which means that father is the ultimate decision maker, or father is the head of the family. He has the most of the rights. Most of the rights are vested upon him. But we cannot generalize things here because in some of the society, they follow the principle of matrilineage and they also follow the principles of matriarchy. But even in those kind of societies which follows the principles of matriarchy, which follows the principles of matrilineage, women are hardly seen as the individual being or as the independent being, which means that they are always seen in relation with the other gender, that is male. And in Indian society, or in the Indian history, we can often see the shift of women's position. Having said that, now let us talk about the historical background of position of women in Indian society. The first one is position of women in the Vedic period. I'll be talking in very brief here. It is often been stated that position of women was much better in the Vedic period, and many historical texts, historical accounts shows that Vedic period was the golden age for women. The things started deteriorating after the coming of the Muslim rulers. However, there are some instances, there are some examples which shows that the ancient society were patriarchal in nature. For example, Gargi and Maitri, who participated Sabha and Samiti in Vedic period, had stated that ancient societies were patriarchal in nature but in a simple count. But in general, we can say that the position of women in the Vedic period was good. Now let us jump to the next one, that is the position of women in the medieval period. Most of the writings during this period is written in Indo-Persian language, and we do not find much information about the women and their activities. But one interesting fact which we find here is that the Bhakti movement, which believed the principle that everyone is equal in the eyes of the gods, and it allowed women to participate in Bhakti movement. In 12th century, Lingayat movement began by Vasavana. He rejected many Hindu beliefs and practices like sati, female infanticide. He also gave importance to the individuality of women, a right to choose their husband, widow remarriage, a right to divorce. And I have mentioned earlier that the advent of Muslim rulers, the coming of the Islam rulers, made the situation of women or the position of women worst. During medieval period, Muslim rulers, they invaded India and ultimately they built up their empire here, and they made certain rules and regulations which oppressed women, like Parda system. If you do not wear burqa, you are shameless. That kind of things were there. And practice of polygamy by men. By polygamy, we mean when a man or a woman marries more than two, husband or a wife at a time. And easy divorce by men. We have heard about triple talaq. And education was denied to women for. So overall, when we see things, here in medieval period, the position of women was not good at all. Now let us talk about the position of women during the British period. The advent of the Europeans into India did not change the situation of women. Like other Western powers, the main objectives of Britishers was trade. But later on, for their own purpose, they introduced Western education to the people of India, which gave rise to the Western educated middle class section or the enlightened section in India. This educated section started questioning about the existing social order, about the existing social structure. Thus began the social reform movement of 19th century. So this is the historical background of position of women in Indian society. In the next session, I'll be talking about the different phases of women's movement in India in a detailed manner. I hope this lesson will be helpful to all the students, those who have Sociology of India as their paper. I will meet you up in the next session. Till then, stay safe.